You shot straight, but you shot late. High 11. This is the Rundown Podcast.
I'm gonna give you the rundown.
Say, man, hey, man. It's OG Jucario. Now I'm back at you with another one. And I told you I will return with more information on this whole P. Drizzy, the Drizzler, and the mysterious Riddler and Christopher Alvarez situation that allegedly took place there at the Mark Hotel in New York. And the Riddler, Ebony Prince, as they call themselves, is saying that, hey, I have this video surveillance footage of something very, very awful happening to this disabled man named Alvarez. And now we have Alvarez doing an interview with the Brooklyn Eagle. And guess what? He's saying, look, this is all lies. Nothing happened to me. Drake and I are friends. I went to Drake's concert. We went out to dinner afterwards, and Drake called me and told me to come to the Mark Hotel afterwards to come through and listen to beats. And this was all at 3 a.m, you guys. And on this new video surveillance footage that was released by Ebony Prince on Twitter, it shows Alvarez all by himself in the lobby in his wheelchair. You don't see nobody else around till a man comes through the front door. And I assume this is one of Drake's security, and he's coming through the front door, and he approaches Alvarez as he's sitting down in a wheelchair, and then another guy appears to be walking in the front door as well. So it seems as if Alvarez was already there at the Mark Hotel after Drake called him to meet him there after dinner that they just had, right? To listen to these beats and whatnot, okay? Now, the video cuts off after the second man is seen walking through the front door. And I'm guessing that's when Drake appears after that. Then we see that second still frame of Drake actually in the picture. And we see Alvarez and another security guy. And we see one of Drake's entourage, Chubbs. He has some items in his hands. And we all see this in this still frame photo that was released by Ebony Prince. So I'm going to get straight to the meat and potatoes, which is this interview that Alvarez seems to contradict himself in a little bit, to my opinion. And I released my opinion on what happened, that I think went down at this Mark Hotel on my last video with Alvarez and P. Drizzy, the Drizzler, and the mysterious Riddler that, could have took place. Now, that was just my opinion, you guys. And I said take it with a grain of salt. But when you're dealing with Hollywood, nothing is too far-fetched. With these alleged freak-offs, as Jaguar Wright told us about, right? Now, it was my opinion that maybe, Alvarez attended some type of freak-off party, and maybe he was hurt. Maybe he got mishandled in this whole ordeal. And that's when the altercation started. But that's just my opinion, you guys. Who knows what really took place? Well, obviously, Ebony Prince knows exactly what happened because they hold the security footage on what went down with this alleged altercation. Now, let's get into what Alvarez is saying happened that day at the Mark Hotel on January 22nd, 2023. Run it. Now, the article reads this. It started on May 10th when ex-Twitter user Ebony Prince 2K24 tweeted a threat of legal action at Drake and a close associate, DJ Academics, hinting about having evidence of something awful as well as video showing items allegedly left by Drake at the Mark Hotel in Manhattan. That's the same hotel that the Epstein scandal was tied to. Wow. And these items include an old laptop, medication with Drake's legal name, Aubrey Graham on the bottles, receipts, and clothing. Some of these items had been used as a cover art by Lamar on the diss track Meet the Grahams. And guess what? Implying that there was a mole in Drake's camp. There was also a photo of Alvarez and a copy of the May 8th Brooklyn Daily Eagle used to time-stamp the video. Now, in the video, the items were arrayed on a balcony of the One Hotel Brooklyn Bridge, as I covered in my first video. I broke that, you guys. Now, overlooking the Brooklyn Bridge Park, some speculated that Ebony Prince intended to imply that the laptop had evidence of wrongdoing. And now we have a clearer understanding that this laptop did and does belong to Drizzy Drake. Now, wow. Now, something that Ebony Prince said in that tweet. He said something very, very mind-boggling. And it's very clear that they're saying that every time Drake would visit this Mark Hotel there in Manhattan in New York, that he would leave many things behind that he's discarded. And guess what? This was the tweet. He said, "You have many things discarded over the years. I wonder if you can remember them all." And this is something along the lines where people start calling Ebony Prince the Riddler. This is a riddle that Drake has to figure out. And it's mind-boggling to everybody. And now we have more information. Yes, Drake did leave behind these items. And after the 3-month period, the hotel there obviously gets rid of these lost and found items. But Ebony Prince is saying these things are highly, expensive items. And you don't just throw computers and things of that nature away now, do you? Especially when billionaires and princes and queens and politicians come there. These are billionaires, right? They come to this hotel. Why would anybody in their right mind just discard these type of high quality items? I know I wouldn't. So let's dig deeper, you guys, and see what's really going on. A second video filmed at night on a scenic overlook in Brooklyn Bridge Park shows more items, including jewelry. "It's all about diamonds," Ebony Prince wrote. Other tweets make vague and unsubstantiated allegations of child abuse. And I seen the tweet where Ebony Prince posted, that he is not going to sit down and sit back and let something happen to somebody, because he took an oath. That's right, to a 6-year-old, to never let things like this happen to children, or maybe disabled people such as Christopher Alvarez, right? And now it's starting to make a little sense, because evidently he has this certificate where he completed this course to where he's going to be an advocate for these type of situations and people who are in these type of situations. So that would explain why Ebony Prince is stepping up to bat for Christopher Alvarez, even though Alvarez might be denying the claims. And for some reason, people are saying, well, maybe Alvarez was paid off. That's why he's not speaking on the whole allegation of being abused by Drake and his crew. Well, anyway, let's continue. Another ex-user posted screenshots of what appears to be negotiations of Ebony Prince to buy the video footage for $800,000 in cryptocurrency. Although other users later called these out as fake, right? A deadline of noon Monday was set for Drake and DJ Academics to apologize and retract what Ebony Prince called lies, after which he vowed to turn everything over to his lawyer. Wow. Now, the full story began to emerge according to internet sleuths who pored over the user's X page. Ebony Prince appeared to be an employee of the Mark Hotel and had intended to sell Drake's unclaimed items following a period in the hotel's lost and found, but was unable to do so after Drake's associate, DJ Academics, claimed on a live stream that the articles were stolen property. And it's still unclear how the photo of the items made its way to Lamar's camp. And the noon deadline came and went, with only more vague and speculative posts about the user, leading to some to speculate the whole thing might have been disinformation. But Ebony Prince shortly afterwards uploaded a shaky video of his laptop, showing more security footage of Alvarez, as I spoke about in the beginning of the video, showing Alvarez in the lobby all by himself, apparently waiting on Drake to show up to the Mark Hotel right after Drake asked him to meet him there. So let's continue. Internet sleuths and content creators dug up background information on every aspect of Drake and Lamar's infamous feud and threw in references of Lamar's 616 in LA, which includes 13 seconds of what some believe to be a ventilator noise. And this is the same ventilator seen on Alvarez's neck to help him breathe easier, right? And it seems like he has to have this ventilator on him at all times, hooked to his wheelchair. And guess what? This is very suspicious that Lamar will put this on this diss track, actually implying that he already seen the video himself. Wow. Yeah. See, all this stuff came out after 616 with Alvarez. That's how I'm implying this whole deal. Now check this out. The location of the first video was traced to Harriet Rooftop Bar atop one hotel. Users noted that Lamar owns a penthouse near the one hotel and initially speculated that the footage could have been shot from his balcony, though there is no evidence of Ebony Prince has anything to do with Kendrick Lamar. Alvarez has since then been subjected to intense online speculation and ugly rumors, including that Drake may have been involved in a physical altercation with him, flattening his enormous struggles and equally enormous accomplishments. I don't know what any of this means, bemused Alvarez told the Eagle on Sunday. Now, this is what Alvarez said about that night in question. I was with Drake that night because we briefly met after dinner, but all the accusations are false, he said. Alvarez went on to say this: I've had the privilege to be with Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and other celebrities who have been very nice to me, but I don't understand where it all got blurred with the fans. I can confirm that I was with Drake on the night of January 22nd, 2023, after his NYC concert with 21 Savage. I was called to meet Drizzy at the Mark Hotel, and we had a blast listening to new beats. I am not in a position to talk about his character outside our meetings, but I can say I was not violated in any way. Right. Growing up in a society that was not meant for me to succeed in, I would never put myself in a position that would further dehumanize the disability community. Alvarez continued to say that there are rumors that a hotel security guard was fired for letting me wait inside the hotel instead of leaving me out to freeze. I believe this is true, and I feel bad. I'm so sorry for him and his family. Good people doing good things out of the kindness of their hearts should not be condemned, and the Mark Hotel should reassess who they put at the top of the chain. The Brooklyn Eagle has reached out to the Mark Hotel for comment and will update with the response. Lastly, I have been getting a lot of spam phone calls, emails, and social media messages saying that I am the snitch in this beef and that I accept hush money from Drake and that I was somehow in on the plan because I follow underage schoolgirls. First, I don't know anything about Drake and Lamar's beef. For me, life is too short to hate and I don't follow it. Really? So you didn't know about the Drake and the Lamar's beef? You didn't keep up with that at all? Seeing that you went to Drake's concert? That's suspicious. That's very, very, very suspicious. But anyway, I digress. Second, I'm a hard-working journalist who holds elected officials and private entities accountable. I don't have rappers on speed dial to be the mole or snitch. Okay, well, you don't have them on speed dial, Alvarez, but you said Drake called you to meet him at the Mark Hotel. So if you don't have him on speed dial, does he have you on speed dial? Evidently, obviously. How did he get in touch with you, Alvarez? You're a disabled man. How did this superstar Drizzy Drake that you've been knowing since 2017, according to the article, how did he call you? Y'all had dinner, and then he contacted you to meet him at the Mark, but you don't have him on speed dial. Going forward, in the light of recent hate speech and incidents against Christopher and for his safety, the public team has advised him to unfollow all minors. Really? So what minors were you following, Christopher? Were these minors with disabilities? Well, they better have been. What type of reason would you have to follow minors if they didn't have a disability such as your own, right? And that's very, very suspicious that your team told you to unfollow these minors. Wow. Yeah. The article goes on to say, we are just trying to protect him and his family and ensure that he can keep delivering the impact journalism that really matters to him and his readers. Wow. Now this whole thing can get real dangerous, you guys, because we have Ebony Prince saying that, look, if I die, more videos come out. And Ebony Prince said he notified his mother on Mother's Day that he could be murdered behind this whole ordeal that's going on with him being the Riddler and having these items that was allegedly left behind at the Mark Hotel that belonged to Drizzy Drake's that his managers told him to discard and get rid of. But Ebony Prince claims that these were high value items and nobody in their right minds would just throw away a laptop and things of that nature that belong to a high profile superstar such as Drake. And I would have to agree. I wouldn't throw these items away neither if I had them in my possession and was told to throw them away or discard of them some type of way. And now that Ebony Prince is being accused of stealing these items, that's the problem. Ebony Prince is clearly saying, look, I only wanted an apology. I only wanted y'all to admit that I didn't steal anything. And whatever's left behind at the Mark Hotel, we have a policy. And these items were left over a 3-month period. Now, why didn't Drake and his security team return back to the Mark Hotel in a 3-month period to get these items that they left? Now, that's very questionable considering that this laptop that belongs to Drake has a lot of questionable dark secrets, right? And horrible, awful, deplorable things allegedly on this laptop. Now, that's crazy, you guys, because it seems like you would want to keep that thing tucked by your side at all times and not leave it behind at some hotel where anybody can get their hands on this sensitive information, wouldn't you think, P. Drizzy? Well, anyway, we have Ebony Prince still saying that he's going to auction off these items. And the items in question that he showed, right, the video surveillance camera footage of Christopher Alvarez allegedly being abused in an altercation. And I did allude to the fact that maybe it was some type of freak off that went wrong and maybe the little fella got hurt some kind of way and that's how the altercation happened. Who knows? There's all kinds of scenarios, as they say, could have took place to where this altercation could have started. And that's the first thing that came to my mind because Drizzy is a high profile celebrity. He's a rapper, right? One of the biggest in the game right now. And you would think it would have been some females, some women, some girls, some ladies at this hotel Mark, right? That they were meeting up at, him and Alvarez were listening to music. Was it some women in that room that night and the altercation started? Or did the altercation start when Drizzy Drake's security team approached Alvarez when they walked inside that Mark Hotel and greeted him? Seen him sitting there in the wheelchair, right? Now, my thing is this. Alvarez said he did stalk. Alvarez said that he did track down a lot of these celebrities, right? And now being that there's a video out there of Alvarez talking about he tracked down celebrities and got their locations and their whereabouts, right? Could Alvarez have been sitting at the Mark Hotel, as it appears in that video, he was in that lobby by himself, and Drake's security seems to allegedly be walking in, and Alvarez is sitting there? Did the altercation start there in that lobby because Alvarez wasn't supposed to be there? Who knows? it's kind of sounding like that could have been possibly the whole ordeal behind this altercation. Alvarez probably tracked down Drake's whereabouts. Now, Alvarez said him and Drizzy Drake went to dinner, and Drake called him up to the Mark Hotel. And if that's true, then why would an altercation ensue? Why would an altercation happen if you were supposed to be there, Alvarez? Or did you track down Drake and maybe thought that you can make it there before he did and just be waiting on him without his security giving you any flack? Who knows? It's all kinds of possibilities. And where was your caregiver at? Where was your caretaker at? You're a disabled man, Christopher. And pretty sure a man of your stature and disability shouldn't be out by himself, right? How did you get there? Who drove you there? Who took you to the Mark Hotel? Because a lot of things aren't adding up, Mr. Alvarez. And at the end of the day, hopefully the Riddler, Ebony Prince, will release more footage and show us what really happened. Because he uploaded more footage showing you sitting there in that lobby. And now we're puzzled as to what happened right afterward. Now, Ebony Prince did allude to the fact that if he dies, more videos come out. Wow. Yeah. What other videos is on this laptop of yours, Pete Drizzy, that the Riddler has in their possession? Now, Alvarez has went live on his Instagram page, basically doubling down and saying the same thing that I've read in the article in the interview he gave with the Brooklyn Eagle.
But nothing happened that night. All the accusations that Drake linked to me, that Drake paid off some big money to make stay quiet.
So keep it locked to OG Jucario TV for more updates. You're watching the Rundown Podcast. I appreciate everybody for spending with me. I appreciate all my subscribers for sliding with your boy every time. And say, man, hey man, keep hitting that like button, keep hitting that subscribe button, and look, turn on post notification so we can slide whenever I get the drop. And you already know what it is, man. It's deeper than booty hell. And guess what? I'm gone.